Hey guys, Lincoln Parks here, and I wanted to shoot you this video today. We're going to be talking about the weeds in your life. Right now, I'm outside my backyard. I'm stinky, smelly, just finished pulling up some weeds, mowing my lawn for the springtime, but I want to talk a little bit about the weeds. Hey guys, so as we know, through the winter time, weeds are dormant. So weeds don't really grow, but they're actually in the ground and they are growing. But we don't see them coming out through the ground. So, and what do weeds do? Weeds usually choke things out, right? So weeds choke things out, and I was as the springtime came, and I would drive into my driveway every day, coming back from a meeting or something. I would drive back in and I would see the weeds coming out of the ground, and I would say, you know what, I have to get out there and I need to pull up those weeds. I need to do some work. I need to pull up those weeds. And I didn't do it for a while because I wasn't ready to pull out the weeds. But during this time, the weeds were choking out my grass. So they were choking out, that they were taking the life out of my grass. So I decided today was the day. I drew the line in the sand, and I was gonna go out and I was gonna start pulling out the weeds. Now, in all of our lives, we have weeds in our lives, and we need to pull out the weeds. We let the weeds get unmanageable in our lives. It can be the little cares, it can be the little things that cause us not to pay attention to those weeds, but we need to pull them out. They can be growing, and something could be growing inside of you right now. You can't see it until that weed comes and it chokes out the goodness that you have. So we need to get in there and just pull out those weeds. But first we need to identify what those weeds are. So when you identify what the weeds are, you see the weeds, don't just drive by. Pull out the weeds. Then what do you do after you pull out the weed? After you pull out the weeds, then you have to continue to fertilize that weed. And that fertilizer, you know what that fertilizer is? That's personal development. That could be any sort of personal development. That can be your Bible. That can be, the most important thing is your Bible. Then you want personal development. So you want to continue to pull out the weeds in your life. I don't know what the weeds are for you, but I know for me, I just made it literal. I had to get in my front yard, get on my hands and knees, and I had to get to work. Because I had a goal that I needed to accomplish, but I kept driving by. What are the weeds in your life? In the Bible, we hear about the sower and the reaper story. And we remember that he keeps sowing his seed. He's sowing the seed. He's being a diligent servant. He's continuing to sow that seed. And eventually the weeds are going to come and choke some of that out. But it's our duty as entrepreneurs, it's our duty as network marketers, it's our duty as husbands, as wives, as parents, it's our duty to pull up the weeds. So we need to take those weeds out. We need to make sure we continue to fertilize those weeds and fertilize the grass, pull up the weeds and get rid of them, and continue, because throughout this season, guys, the weeds are going to continue to try and come back. But what do you have to do? You have to be diligent. You have to be consistent. So guys, I wanted to shoot you this quick video in my backyard. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm smelly, stinky, but I still wanted to bring you this video today. So remember, let's always continue. Don't forget to lead like you. Hey, this is Lincoln Parks, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.